Hello everyone, I'm Marieanne, the Artsie Crafter. If you're new to my channel or if you've been here before, then I want to welcome you all and thank you very much for stopping by. If you are a regular to my channel, then you'll know that I make, every month I make a new journal, and I call it my monthly journal. It's usually a one signature journal, and this month I was feeling in a bit of a gypsy mood, so I'm going to be making a Bohemian journal this month. It's right up my alley. Being a bit arty myself, I like the gypsy lifestyle, though I've been living in my current house for about 17, 18 years now, so I can't really consider myself, a bit of a gypsy anymore, I don't think. But anyway, we can dream on. I love traveling and meeting new people, seeing new places, and I think that's the best education in the world, traveling. But anyway, before I get off onto a sidetrack too much, I want to show you what I've got in front of me here. And this is, if you have signed up for my Facebook group, you know that I'll be doing monthly challenges, and this is the challenge for this month. It ties in with the theme of the Bohemian journal, and this is a journal card with this pretty little gypsy here, and this is the pocket that is the challenge to make, and this just pops into the top here, and that can go into a page or wherever, into a pocket, side tuck, whatever. But I think it was very pretty, with a few little sparkles. I like the idea of the type of Bohemian decor and all that, but I don't like a bunch of patterns and colors all shoved in together. I kind of like the richness of the fabrics, but I do tend to like a certain color palette. I like things to blend together or to contrast rather than everything clashing together. That's my style. You might be different, but we're all different, aren't we? We all have our own style. But these for this month's journal, for this month's challenge on the Facebook group, this is a freebie that you can download, and you can make a variation on this. You don't have to make this exactly, but you could make a variation of a pocket and a journal card, or you can change it up and make a booklet or whatever you want with these images, as long as you use these images to create something, and then to upload it onto the Facebook group, and so we can see your work. Everyone can share their projects, what they've done, and we can compare and encourage everyone to be crafty. So that's that for the moment, and this kind of ties in with my journal that I'm doing, which I've already said is a Bohemian journal, and I'm going to be showing you how I'm making my cover. And this is the inside panels that I've got all ready to go. I'm making my journal. The monthly journals are usually 8.5 inches high, or the journal covers, and 6 wide, but I'm making this one. I'm making 2 signatures for a change in this journal. So I've made it's going to be a soft spine, and I'm making a 1-inch wide soft spine. So these will be the inside panels there, and this is a piece of stiffened cloth that you get. I think they use it for stiffening collars and coats and all that kind of thing in the sewing world, but I use it because it's great to use as a spine, for reinforcing the spine. And all I did was, first of all I coffee dyed it, but I didn't like that, and then I put some this maroon color on there, and with a little bit of gold in there, and then I wasn't happy with satisfied with that, so I used a stencil to stencil on top there. And excuse me for a minute, I had to go, and my dog was knocking on the door, because it's I don't know whether you can hear. I hope you can't hear, but we're having gale force winds outside, and I'm in my little craft cabin, and I can just feel the wind battering against the back wall here, so I hope we don't blow away. Anyway, back to where I was talking about this here. I stenciled this pattern on here. It ties in with the Bohemian theme. It's a Moroccan design that I did, and I made this little stencil. It took a little while to do, as you could see, but it's kind of fun to do. And I have a simple way of making stencils, so if I've made a video showing you how to make these stencils, and so if you haven't seen that, I'll leave that link in the description box below. You can go ahead and check out how to make some simple. This looked technical and difficult, but it wasn't. It was just time consuming a little bit to do, but very easy still. So I'll put that aside for now. So on the outside, that's the inside taken care of. And then on the outside, I've got some of this fabric. I found some fabric that I absolutely loved because I wanted to do a mosaic of fabrics or a collage or whatever, but I ended up finding this piece, and it's got all the different colors and patterns and designs, and I absolutely loved it. And it doesn't really show up I think you can see it's a bit more true to color at this angle than just on the table, I think. Anyway, that's beside the point for now. And I'm going to sew this, first of all, this panel onto the cover. As you can see, this is a McDonald's bag that I had this in my, we don't usually eat McDonald's very much unless we're traveling out west. We must have been traveling out west and had McDonald's for breakfast, and they give you these nice big thick bags. So I just cut it up. It's double thickness, and I glued it all together, ready to be used as the cover. So I'm going to sew this panel onto the cover first. That's my first job. And then I'm going to be gluing this panel onto the top there. And then on the bottom, I got these beautiful little coins there, and I thought that would go great on the bottom because I was going to have some brocade on the bottom, but I thought when you stood it up in your bookcase, the brocade wouldn't sit very well. But these, because they've got beads on them, I think they will sit much better because they'll sit on the shelf when the journal cover is in an upright position and won't interfere with the way it sits. That's my hopefully that's the way it's going to work. And then to cover that edge up there, I thought I'd put that on there, and that would be the base of my cover. And then I loved that little pocket that I made so much that I'm going to make it again, but it's going to be taller this time, and it's going to be a side loading pocket. And if I have that, so this time it's going to come slide this into here, and so I'm going to make the exact same pocket. So if you want to make this pocket, and I've just wrapped all the papers around to the back, I used some copy paper, coffee dyed copy paper as base, and then this I've just put the little wings on there because I didn't really want to, I wanted to wrap it around so you didn't have any raw edges on the side. So that will get glued to the top. And so I'm going to I'm going to sew this onto the front panel before I sew the front panel onto the journal cover. I'm going to sew this onto this fabric before I sew the fabric onto the cover. That way I don't have to go through all those thicknesses. Saves me a bit of a job. And this is a piece of this lace here that I just printed out, and I used some gold pen to re-establish that gold, because printing gold doesn't print out very well. So that will go on there. And of course you saw before, once I sew that on, I can attach all this and it will go like that, and that will be my pocket, and then that will just slip in there, because this besides this being a Bohemian journal, I'm going to be writing, I want it to be the story of this lady who I can, you know, pretend it's me many years ago. And I'm going to go on a journey, you know, traveling around and whatnot. That's kind of my idea of the theme of the Bohemian Journal. So I will do all that, and I will sew all this up first, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So I'll go and do that now. So don't go away, it won't be too long. There's the cover already sewn, and I got a bit close to that edge. I can go over that again in a moment, but for now I can glue this little, where is it, this little strip on here and this one on the top there. That's the way I had it, and I'm going to glue this over the top edge there, and then these coins I'm going to I'll attach them, I'll sew them on first, and then I will put this strip over the top there. I think that will be easier if I sew them. I'll glue this down. I glued all this down, the fabric, to the cover before I stitched around the edges, so that it is attached all the way through, not just around the edges, and so it'll all stay together. So that's my next step there. So I'll go and do that, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. There, it's all sewn up or sewn down now and sewn and glued on. So now I also went ahead and turn this over and glued these panels on the inside here, and I just love the way these bells dangle. I think it's so cute, and I was very pleased the way it turned out. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So now I just have to do the like this here. I'm going to do this little trim on here, and also put this binding on here, the reinforcing, I should say, on the spine. And I've already marked out where I'm going to, on there, the center line, and also I'm marking 1/4 inch on either side, because I've got 2 signatures. So 1/4 inch is probably, you know, just over 1/2 centimeter, and so I fold that in half to make sure that I do get it lined up correctly. I'm going to put it down there, glue this side, and then fold it over, and then I'll glue that side. That way I'll make sure that it stays in the center, and I will do that now. I think now's as good a time as any, so we'll get that done. And I'll just move this off. This is the second day of recording because when I went to sew, the trims on my sewing machine needle broke, and it was getting a bit late last night, so I had to wait to this morning before I could change it over, and luckily I did have some spare needles. And so today it's a new day, and the sun's out. Make sure I doubly check that I do have it. You can see on this side where the center line is. Right on. Got some sunshine out, so you could probably see some sunlight shining on my desk. I don't often have the curtain open when I'm filming because the sunlight is blinding. I can't see what I'm doing, and it's very distracting because I've got trees in the way and they're flapping around in the breeze, so it's usually difficult to see what's on my desk when that's happening. But today the sun's moved, it's changing direction so that it's not shining on my desk so much at the moment. so that's nice to have some natural sunlight coming in. And get this down. This cover worked out even better than I hoped, so I'm very pleased about that. And just make sure this doesn't glue itself. Shouldn't use tissue because it sticks to this fabric glue. And it's just a tad down too far, but that doesn't matter. And I'll use my trusty ruler to squish it all down. Make sure it all sticks. There we go, that's all ready to go and to bind in the signatures. And as I said, there's 2 signatures to bind in. So while that's drying, I'll come over here and I'll sort this out. I've got I might do it, usually end up doing on the back of my ruler. Put some glue, fabric glue down. Actually do it to the front where I usually do it. Gotta clean it off. And these are the sparkles that I'm using. What do you call them? Diamantes on the front here. And I think I've got to cut them off first. Then I want 3 of them. Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. It's always helpful. And I'll peel the back off there, and then I just dip this into the fabric glue because don't trust that the glue that's on there is strong enough. So, and I'll place the center one first. Next one. Need a little bit more glue. I'm not talking because I'm concentrating. There we go. So that's the easy part. And well, the next part's not that difficult. It's just a little tricky. And I want, I put 4. I think I put 4 on the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So I usually just go along and I get my small scissors. I cut between those sections because they're on a row of glue. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1 because I always lose one usually. And these are so tiny. I just dab it on, and I usually start in the center, or I hope is the center, and continue along from there. Got 2. And I'd rather stick to me. Move them over. So usually do the one in the middle, one on each end, then I can put the ones in between, and I find that's the easiest way. There you go, bit fiddly. I'll wipe this excess glue off my ruler. There you go. And that's how they are. And I've already got my journal card in the side here. I made it so that it sticks out a little bit at the side, because I didn't really want to put a tab on it, so it sits like that. I didn't want to put a tab on it because I thought it'd spoil the frame, so I've left it like that so that can stay in there. And that's its home, and it's pretty much finished. So now all I have to do is put some plastic on there somewhere. It's ready to go. It's folded it over, and it's ready to sew the signatures in. So I've already got the signatures ready to go here, and I've got 2 there, and I had some fun using my new sewing machine and sewing around the edges on some of the pages here. So I'll go ahead and sew these into the cover, and then I can come back and I'll do a quick flip through of the pages, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'll be back soon. Okay, I've got the signatures sewn in here, and there's one little job before I show you through. There's one last little job I have to do, and that is I want to cover up this binding, the sewing. So I've got out some of this leaf, gold leaf, and it's a tricky little thing, and I thought I'd put that on the spine in the middle, and that will complete the look. So I'll go ahead and glue that on, and that will be the cover will be completely finished then. So I'll do that now. There we go, it's all glued down, and probably take a while. It covers up most of that sewing, so you don't really see it. So now I'll see how that bends. The glue is still drying. It should be fine. So I'll just give you a quick flip through inside, and I absolutely love the cover, and hopefully I'll love the inside. This here is a pocket. Here it's an envelope pocket, and I glued on some satin on the back there, and I love this ruffle edging there. The what do you call the it's gone completely out of my mind. The selvage, sorry, selvage edge with all the ruffles. So I kept that on, and I've sewn all the way around, so this can fray all it likes, and that'll be fine. So that'll be a pocket in there. So that's that. Here I had some fun, as I said before, I had some fun with my sewing machine using the fancy stitches. I've never really played with too many except for the leaf ones, so that was a fun thing to do, and gives a decorative edge to some of these pages, and it kind of fits the Bohemian theme, I thought. And here's some more, and I've sewn this one upside down because I had that on the bottom, so I hope nothing else it turns out that way. And I use this, the butterflies are upside down. I use this to stencil on with some gold behind, and some brown and some clocks on there. And this here, I used my stencil there, and I sewed an edge on the top and the bottom there. That's that one. And there's another one, is another stencil that I made, a leaf stencil, and I did a leaf trim on the edge there. And this is the center of the first signature, so you pretty much seen what's here. And this is the second signature, and there's another one of those, that pattern paper that I absolutely love, and I put the trim on the top and the bottom. Here's another one that I did another fancy stitch on, and there is, I used stencils and that, and just some plain papers. And here I made some, I had this pretty lace I didn't even know until I went through my stash, and some lace with a bit of sparkle on there, which I think absolutely love it. And I put a trim on there because then it's easier, I think it sits better and it's easier to flip over. So that's that. That's some lace paper there with a bit of pink, and that's the middle of the signature. There's that lace again, and there we go, that's the end. And so I can't wait to start working in this journal. I absolutely love it. I love what I did with the pages. It's something different, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, by the end. So that's all I have for you today, and I'm excited for this month to get working in this journal, and I hope you'll come along on the journey with me. And for now, I want to wish everyone a happy crafty day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.